In this video, I will review and rank 4 well-known high-end foundations. This video is the second part of the review video. If you haven't watched part 1, I recommend you to watch that part first. Everyone who has watched part 1 can continue with this video. Next, I want to talk about the YSL All Hours foundation. It comes in a glass bottle, which I appreciate. I like it when expensive foundations come in high-end packaging. This is value for money for me. This foundation has a scent to it. I find it okay. It's not my favorite scent, but again, this is very subjective. This foundation has SPF 20 inside, and I have it in shade BD25 Warm Beige. With this foundation, I recommend you to go to the store and test it there. Ask a sales associate to determine which shade would perfectly match your shade. Don't try to buy this foundation online because the shade range is a bit more complicated. Among the 3 foundations I have shown in part 1 and part 2 now in this video, this one has the thickest consistency, so a little goes a long way. The pigmentation is great. I don't want to imagine how long it will take you to just finish this foundation. It will take you a long time. So therefore YSL says this is a high coverage foundation. I agree with that. It is a high coverage foundation. When it comes to the longevity, I don't think this stays 24 hours. That is obviously a bit exaggerated by the brand. Now you see myself wearing this foundation in the morning. The complexion you get with this is great. It's a high coverage foundation. It gives you a matte finish. I have applied this foundation with a beauty sponge, so it makes your foundation look a little more natural. So guys, basically when you have acne breakouts and you need a high coverage foundation, you can get this foundation. This foundation will cover up your breakouts and skin concerns. For your information, I have dry skin, and now you see myself wearing the foundation in the PM. You see that it got quite glowy, so I have difficulties to say that this foundation is a matte foundation and it will stay matte throughout the day. It was a hot summer day and I haven't powdered my face to just show you the performance of the foundation on its own. So when you powder your face, your T-zone, it should be okay, but compared to the one coming up, I have realized that this foundation doesn't stay matte throughout the day. The other one coming is more matte than this foundation. But with this glow, the nice thing is actually it looks natural. So for me, this foundation is on place number 2, and the reasons why I haven't put it on place number 1 is its high coverage looks a bit too makeup-y on me. I like it a little more natural, and I like it when the foundation stays matte throughout the day. And I like it as well when the foundation stays on your skin and doesn't disappear. When it comes to longevity, I find the foundation next better. Not only in this point, but also in the other 2 points I have just mentioned. I put it on number 2. As you see, it's a good rank. It's a rock solid foundation, so don't get me wrong. But in my view, just the next one is a little better than this one. So let's talk about the one and only Lancome Teinte Idole foundation. This foundation comes in a bottle as well. It has a very subtle scent to it, which is not disturbing me. I find it quite subtle. It has SPF 15 inside. And the bottle of this foundation is a bit bigger content-wise than the All Hours foundation bottle from YSL. I have this one in the shade 11 Beige Cristalline. So again, with this Lancome foundation, I recommend you to go to the store, ask a sales associate to just find your perfect match, because this one has a little complicated shade system. So don't try to match or find your shade online. This one is a high coverage foundation. I find the YSL foundation a little more high coverage though, but this is still a rock solid high coverage foundation. It has a matte finish and it looks natural. That's a little bit the difference to the YSL foundation, that it looks a little less makeup-y than that one. So basically this foundation is for me somewhere in between the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation and the YSL All Hours Foundation. It has more coverage than the Dior Backstage. It stays more matte than that one. You need less product than that one. At the same time, it looks more natural than the YSL All Hours Foundation. Has a better longevity, has a better staying power in my view, and stays matte throughout the day. I don't think that this foundation will stay 24 hours, but it has a pretty good staying power. So in my view, every skin type can use this foundation. This is a universal foundation. Whether you have dry skin like me, you have normal skin, you have combination skin, you have oily skin, you will get along very well with this foundation. When you have heavy acne breakouts, maybe the All Hours foundation will be a little better for you because it has a little more coverage than this one, but therefore this stays more matte throughout the day than the All Hours foundation. When you also read the YSL website, you see that this is a quite innovative foundation. It has some blue marine pigments in, which makes this foundation not look too gray or ashy on darker skin tones. And I mean, this is also the impression I had with this foundation, really. It's a rock solid foundation. I want to also show the wear test I have filmed. Now you see myself wearing this foundation in the AM. I have used a beauty sponge to apply this foundation. As you can see, you get a nice finish. It looks matte but natural at the same time. Now you see myself wearing this foundation in the PM. You can see a little shine on the nose area. But gosh, in my view, it looks so good and it hasn't disappeared in the evening. So this is why this foundation is the winner for me. Currently, it's my go-to foundation. By the way, guys, these are all very expensive foundations. The Guerlain foundation, the YSL foundation, the Lancome foundation, and the Dior Backstage foundations. I have bought them all with a rebate, so they were on sale when I have picked them up. And for the Lancome foundation, for example, I think I paid 23 euros. It's roughly 23 US dollars. And I'm using it already for so long. And I haven't still seen that the bottle gets somehow empty. So I wonder how long it will take to empty this bottle. And to get a great foundation for 23 US dollars is just perfect for me. So just watch out for some good deals. Instead of buying a L'Oreal Perfect Match foundation, drugstore foundation for 12, 13 euros or US dollars, I prefer to buy this one because when you go high-end with foundation, I mean, you get better quality. And what I also don't like is this looking ashy and grayish. So these foundations oxidize less than the drugstore foundations. For me, especially the money I spent for the Lancome foundation was definitely worth it. So let me know down below what you think of these foundations. I recommend you to watch the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation review next. It is one of the most interesting foundations I have tried so far. And when you are looking for a natural looking foundation, watch also my Estee Lauder foundation review video because I think that the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Foundation is a great natural looking foundation as well.